What's up,
Mattias,
guys?
how would you evaluate yourself from start to finish, your season, how it went, and how do you feel it went for you?
Um, I would say the first 15, 20 games before I got injured, um, my game definitely wasn't up to standard. Um, I think after the injury, I put together a little stretch or building my game in the right way, and then maybe there were some games here and there in the grind of the year there. Definitely could have been better, but I think the last handful of games here at the end, I definitely started to like my game, started to build off a little momentum of playing well.
What was it like for you, wearing a letter and balancing sort of some of those, leadership responsibilities with being a young player in the league, adjusting to a new coach, and trying to really establish yourself as a defenseman who plays the style that you do?
Yeah, I think at the beginning of the year, it was a little weird. Um, Obviously, never wore a letter in the NHL, so I think just there was a lot of new at the start of the year with new coaching staff, all that stuff. Obviously, Ras wearing the C. I think he would even tell you is a little new for him as well. Um, but I think once you get comfortable, you realize you just have to be yourself. You're not given a letter to become a captain. It's because of who you were beforehand. So. Um, Yeah, I think like once I got back from my injury there, and I stopped worrying about any of that stuff, and just tried to be myself every day, and um, come to the rink and not worry about what letter you have on your shoulder or anything like that.
Matthias, what was it like learning to play under Lindy Ruff, and how much of the last 20 games or so for a lot of guys like yourself, as you mentioned, was a case of the buy-in finally kicked in and the understanding of the system really kicked in, and you guys played the way you probably hoped you could from the start?
Yeah, I think the adjustment period of learning to play under Lindy probably took a lot longer than anybody thought. Um, and that's obviously the guys in the room, but um, it's been fun. He obviously is a different style than what we've had in the past, so I think there was a big adjustment. But um, I think once guys buy in and once you realize what he is, trying to get across the message to the group, it's pretty fun style to play, and obviously it was working there at the end.
Well, it did take a long time. Is it how demanding he is as a coach, or
Um, no, I don't think it's how demanding he is. I think it was just how opposite of this, like how opposite it was, from what we've had in the past. The styles, the point of how they get the message across. I think all of it was very new for a lot of guys. So I think that yeah, that took a little longer than anybody expected.
You've been here now for multiple seasons. You guys suffered this year with that winless streak you just couldn't snap out of. We saw even 2 years ago you missed the playoffs by 1 point. You were hurt and you had lost 8 in a row without a point in November. How can you guys do a better job, like we saw at the end of the year, of one loss not turning into three, turning into five, turning into seven, and just kind of turning the momentum around quicker when you drop a game or two?
Um, Yeah, I think, like you said, every year I've kind of been here, there's always been a little stretch where you lose like 8 in a row, or this year was the 13, and that kind of just puts your season behind the 8 ball. I think maybe like towards the end of the year, I think guys really started to figure out and learn, when to choose opportunities to, make a certain play, or just puck management decisions overall, how to manage the game, and I think we really learned that as a group towards the end of the year, and I think that's something that, when you lose 1 or 2 or 3 in a row or whatever, and the next game you could really just rely on, not almost shooting yourself in the foot, and grinding out wins in a simpler way.
Found a groove late in the season, and there was more comfort. Just what was your game like? What were you doing that was, made you so effective?
I think
You personally, I'm sorry.
I think for me, just when I find myself moving my feet more, you're up in the play more. When you're skating, I find myself just playing better, playing more free. And I think I was just trying to get involved a little bit more, trying to get up the ice, stuff like that. I think that's when it was. And then, just taking pride in trying to be hard to play against every shift, whether it's in front of our net or in the corners. Try to make it miserable on the other team's forwards every night.
Evan, he has to do his job. That's not what you have to do. But when he talks to you as a leader on this team now, what does he expect out of you and the other leaders, not just you, to help get this team over the hump and get it to where it needs to be, and into the playoffs and forward?
What he expects of us. I think his message just is, like, you have to look in the mirror to yourself as a leader, and you have to, come to the rink every day or on the ice every day, and, kind of know that you've done everything you can to put yourself in the best position, which ultimately helps the team. I don't think he's asking anyone to be anything they're not. He's just really wants the group of leaders or whatever to be themselves and to help push everyone else forward. I mean, if the guys that wear letters or are looked up to are doing the right things, and coming to the rink every day, trying to get better, trying to move the team in the right direction, then ultimately it just helps everybody else out. And he's not asking anybody to do anything crazy. He's just wants them to lead every day, and really just help the group understand that the work needs to be put in all the time. And I think guys really started to do that at the end, and it showed in the results.
Type guy like Tage was talking about how he loves it when Darlene comes after him and tells him, this isn't good enough. You have to, because he said he knows Rasmus is coming from a place of making him a better hockey player, making you guys a better team. So he said he loves it when he does things like that. Are you a more vocal type of leader? How do you lead?
I wouldn't say extremely vocal, no. I do like to talk to players, during the game, like TV timeouts and stuff, just like one-on-one, like just go down the forward side, or I think just even if I made the wrong play or whatever, just trying to figure out what everyone else is thinking in certain situations. I think I find that helps me. I think I just try to lead with, obviously my play. I don't think I try to be a vocal person, but definitely not scared to say anything.
Veteran guy like Zucker, who's been in the league for a while, and he clearly becomes part of the leadership group and is going to be part of the leadership group going forward. What did that dynamic of a veteran guy like him add to your room?
Zex was unreal. He obviously played in the NHL for a long time, so he's been around. He's kind of seen it all. It's just with guys like Oki and Z last year leaving, having Zucks come in, it was just nice to have that presence. He's someone that myself and a lot of the young guys can lean on in certain situations. So he was great for the group.
What happened to Tage against New Jersey was obviously kind of a touch point for the team, led to a lot of hard conversations, I'm sure. I'm curious, how much that moment will stick with you and maybe what you learned from it, especially as, being one of the guys that was on the ice.
Yeah, I think we learned a lot. Obviously not, my proudest moment or anything like that. Obviously would change a lot about how everything was handled, but I do think myself and the group learned a lot from it, grew from it, and I think you felt a little bit of a shift in like the team toughness attitude after that. So yeah, obviously it wasn't a positive moment in the season, but I do think there was some positives to take in the aftermath of it.
With the adjustment to a new coach, Mattias, I'm sure there was frustration with individual guys on how they were playing, how they were producing, where you guys were at in the standings, the winless streak. As a group of players, I mean, from your perspective, did you notice maybe some of those frustrations maybe cause guys to have their focus maybe in the wrong places? Because you guys are talking about accountability now, looking yourself in the mirror. I'm just curious if you saw that frustration maybe being channeled in the wrong ways.
I don't think so. I mean, I think when you lose 13 in a row and stuff like that, I think the last thing you could do is worry about yourself. When you're in a hole like that, literally the only way out is together. So no, I don't think there was a problem with guys worrying about themselves or anything like that.
I know you ran into them in Minnesota. What was your thought on Western coming through in the Frozen Four?
I was really happy for him. Yeah, we saw him in Minnesota. I didn't really know many guys there anymore, but yeah, super happy for the program. I can't imagine how they celebrated that one, but yeah, I know they're getting a new rink, so in the next couple of years. So nice to go into that with a national championship now.